So inside, I'm crumbling, I'm breaking,
Right.
I'm withering. But on the outside, I'm Superman for you. Talk about a people pleaser. Talk about a yes man. Talk about a bending over backwards so others don't break. That was my life story, man. Because I don't think I'm really worth anything, but to make sure that I have an inkling of hope that you think I'm worth something, it felt like the world said, hey, there's Treveal. Let's do him in as many ways as we possibly can. Girlfriends didn't respect me. I had girlfriends that would, to my face, be loyal, go and cheat on me with other men, and then find a way to turn around and tell me that they cheated on me. Just going to work and getting a paycheck doesn't really mean you know that you have value. It doesn't mean, right? It doesn't equate to you knowing that you're worth something. Never trusting that anything you do is enough. Never trusting that you in and of yourself are enough. And so you just keep doing way too much for way too many people, not knowing how to say no. And at the end of it, you're emotionally exhausted and you still don't feel like you're enough.
As many of you guys know that when I went through that whole cancer experience, one of the things that I had was incontinence. And that was really challenging. And I know some people would find that embarrassing. But the fact of the matter is, 1 in 4 men over 40 experience bladder leakage. Now, I wish I had known about this product TENA when I was going through my whole incontinence experience, because it's super absorbent, it has odor control, and more importantly, it was engineered for the male body. So if you're struggling with this, there's no need to be embarrassed, there's no need to be ashamed. TENA got you. A product that will provide you with the security, confidence, and comfort you need to do what you have to do.
Whenever I'm put into a position where my back is against the wall and I feel responsible for others, then I'm going to take action. But that's a subsection of my life. So financially, I was being responsible, right? I brought these kids into the world. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm going to own my position. But that didn't impact the trauma that I experienced that created the inability for me to really see my personal worth, because just going to work and getting a paycheck doesn't really mean you know that you have value. It doesn't mean, right? It doesn't equate to you knowing that you're worth something. It doesn't equate to you knowing how to not procrastinate, because procrastination showed up on the job where if the project is due Friday, well, I'll wait till Thursday night. I'll get it done, but I procrastinated Monday through Thursday. Right. So I know how to just get across the finish line right in the nick of time, but I wasn't efficient. There was no flow and system and cadence to my life until I began to learn some of these soft skills that I now implement and I now teach others too. But no, it just shows up in the form of, because I was cheated on multiple times. Brother, listen, man. I mean, when I tell you ragdoll, brother, you started to bring up, like, it's like it felt like the world said, hey, there's Treveal. Let's do him in as many ways as we possibly can. Girlfriends didn't respect me. I had girlfriends that would, to my face, be loyal, go and cheat on me with other men, and then find a way to turn around and tell me that they cheated on me and make it a joke. So it's those hurtful, deep, hurtful moments that now that I'm married, I'm looking at my wife and I'm saying, well, you look really nice tonight. Who you going out with? Is she, could she possibly, right? So it begins to manifest in moments when you're not expecting it, because that hurt never went away. It stayed in the body. It stayed in the brain. And so that's just some examples of, as you're doing life, the lack of trust, the lack of value for yourself, it just like pops up in different areas. One of the other huge ways that it popped up was and I talk about this in my book, is overcompensating. Talk about a
Mm,
people pleaser. Talk about
mm,
a yes man. Talk about a bending over backwards so others don't break. That was my
mhm,
life story, man. Because
mm,
I don't think I'm really worth anything, but to make sure that I have an inkling of hope that you think I'm worth something, I'm going to go
mhm,
the extra mile. I'm going to do what you asked me to do, 10x that, and then 10x that again.
mhm.
So inside, I'm crumbling, I'm breaking,
Right.
I'm withering, but on the outside, I'm Superman for you, and I'm Superman for you, and I'm
You're looking
Batman
like
for you,
success. Yeah.
looking like it,
But not
but in
feeling like.
but internal,
Yeah.
but not feeling like it. So that's how it manifests. It just manifests in you overcompensating, never trusting that anything you do is enough, never trusting that you in and of yourself are enough. And so you just keep doing way too much for way too many people, not knowing how to say no. And at the end of it, you're emotionally exhausted and you still don't feel like you're enough.
Mm,
So it's so deflating, man.
mm.
So deflating.
How do people get to a place of feeling like, they're worthy and enough? How do we work on that when you were never like part of my job as a father? I always felt
Mhm.
it was my job to tell my son, who he was, and to let him know that he had value, and to support and encourage him. A lot of people didn't get that, so
Mm.
they're looking for other folks to validate them, and nobody's really probably coming to validate you. How do we give
Mm.
that to ourselves?
Yeah. Well, if I was sitting with you, let's say you came to me and you said, "Hey, man, I'm not seeing it. I'm not
Mhm.
getting the validation from anyone else. Where do I begin to get this validation? How do I begin to see anything of value as it relates to me?" Right. One
Mhm.
of the things that I always teach clients is life reveals life.
Mhm.
A lot of us don't take time, and we've never been taught to observe life itself. Life is happening all around us all the time. And to not go too biblical, but like for those of us who believe in God and who trust in God, there's a scripture that talks about the fact that God reveals himself in things that we've always been able to see. So
Mm.
the idea that I can go outside and I can observe the organic flow of life, which is everything is a contribution to being a support to the success of everything else. Everything
Mm.
is in support of something else's success. Everything is a contribution in and of itself. And so if you name anything in the world, it is a contribution to something else. And so if it is a contribution to something, then it has inherent value, and that's where you want to start. There is nothing that's ever been created that was not created to be a solution to a problem.
Mm.
It doesn't exist. And so I say, well, if it applies to everything else in the world, why wouldn't it apply to you? And I often just
Mm.
use like little, so I say, well, okay, well, I got this bottle of water. Where did this bottle of water start?
Mhm.
Well, somebody thought about it, right? It began in the mind of its creator as an idea. So from that idea, someone went to work to then create it. And why were they creating it? They were creating it because there was a problem that existed that preceded the solution. Well, we need some water, but we need to be able to carry it around. And so what can we do? Well, we can take plastic, we can fashion it and pour water in and put a cap on it, and now we can carry our water. And so I say, well,
Mm.
in the same manner, you've been given qualities, you've been given a design, you've been crafted by your creator, and you began in the mind of your creator as an idea in the creator's imagination. And you, being designed the way you are, have a shape, and you have a function, and you have abilities that are natural and that are innate. And if you just take time to observe what you already have built in, you begin to see the clues to what your contribution is. And so I began just to work with them from there, man. Take the raw materials, take what's already there, because most people cannot deny what's already there. And then we work from there. Then we work from there. Yeah.
Man, that is so good because, I grew up always thinking that I had to prove myself, to prove my worth. So I focused on getting a college education because I thought that was going to mean something. I thought that was going to make me feel like I was enough. I got that, and I still felt the same. I'm like, okay, this ain't working. So I was like, okay, well, maybe if I buy a house, bought a house, got the car, this car that was supposed, I got all of those things, and I still didn't feel like I was enough. And you know what happened, Treveal, is I ended up working. I built a successful business, still feeling like, I'm still feeling like somebody's gonna pull the rug from underneath me because I didn't feel like I was worthy of having that success. And it took me losing everything to really discover my inherent value, that it wasn't about any of those things, that it was I was at the point where I was at the food stamp place getting food stamps. This was like a little over 10 years ago. And it was then that I realized that I was enough just as I am. It didn't matter how much money was in my bank account. Didn't matter that I was now living in a place I never thought I would live. But just as I was enough. But it took me, getting all these things, losing all those things. And then I found that, So just and so the real truth is that you don't have anything to defend, protect, or prove. Just as you are. The mere fact that you have breath, life, you have value, and you have purpose.
Yes.
And a lot of times, we can't. We can't see that. We can't see that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times we're just so, because I once heard, and I'm probably like butchering this quote, but just to kind of add to that, was I once heard that the thread can't see itself for being a part of the fabric. It was sort of this idea of you're so close to the trauma. You're so close to the problem. You're so wrapped up in it. You're so engulfed. You're so enveloped in the issues that you can't see it. And I believe that's why, and I won't go down a tangent, but that's why environments are so important. Being able to step back and separate momentarily from the current environment, you put yourself in a new environment, it gives you a break from the drama happening in that current environment. And now you're given an opportunity to develop new lenses. And now you're able to not only see yourself, but you're able to see that environment much differently. But again, we're not taught to retreat in a healthy manner. And we're not taught the value of environments. We're taught to, we are taught to, especially people that look like us, unfortunately, we're taught to own the environment. Well, if my environment is full of drugs, violence, hate, discrimination, what am I really owning? And so, just as I was listening to you, say that, that's kind of what came up for me. It's man, you have to kind of separate for a little while to be able to see things differently.